Just a short time before I'm filming this video, Native Instruments has released the latest version of their Guitar Rig series, Guitar Rig 6. Today I want to give you kind of an overview look of the software, not all the inner workings and every one of the effects and all that, just more of an overview, whether you can see it's worth the cost of 35 or 40 packs of strings or not. And welcome to Music with Marky. Way back with Guitar Rig 4, I was a heavy user of this product. I got into the digital modeling game very early because I was living with my parents and recording a lot of music, usually late at night, and I didn't want to wake everybody up by having to have a cranked up amp, so I went looking for solutions early on. Now, I hadn't been around long enough to really become kind of a tone snob yet, so the digital sounds that were available then, and even today, I saw them as a sound unto themselves. I wasn't trying so much to compare it to a real amp. I was just getting inspired by the sounds that I was playing, and it was leading to whatever music I was writing for the sounds for what they are. Fast forward a couple of decades, and I was in the studio with my band at the time, Answer Infinity, and we were recording our first album with a pretty well-known producer, and I plugged in to get all my tones and everything, and he listened to it and suggested that I check out this thing called the Fractal Axe Effects. And to make a long story short, I loved the way that sounded, and it kind of woke me up to some things that I wasn't aware of yet and started me down the road to being a tone snob. But today is not about comparing a $200 piece of software to a $2,000 piece of hardware. Again, I kind of want to show you this for what it is and see if you can get an overview of it, listen to it, see if it'll be useful for you in your own uses, whether you're doing like a home demo kind of thing or whatever that might be. If you're looking for a deep dive into this thing, take a look at all the effects that are included, how it works, and look at a lot of the presets included. I am going to be doing a live stream of this in the next couple of weeks, so please consider like and subscribe and all that. Put on notifications so you can see when I'm doing the live stream. You can tune in and check this thing out in depth. I will, though, at the very end of this video, roll a short musical example of a side-by-side comparison of the two, just going like a measure at a time in case you are curious to hear what that's about. What I do want to do today is show you Guitar Rig 6, and we'll plug it in the studio here, but first I'll give you a real short summary of the answer, and that is, as a stomp box special effects kind of unit, something to replace a bunch of stomp boxes, amazing. As a amp sim cabinet modeler, not so great, but definitely usable in a mix. So let me plug into it here, show you a couple of the presets, we'll talk about it, and then I'll show you a piece of music where I used it in a mix. So I've got a couple of these clean ambient sounds tagged here with a little green dot so I can play along and just give you an idea of the quality of these types of sounds in Guitar Rig 6. That lush trailing verb type of thing, very cool. It does that well. Let me grab something else here. We'll do Ocean Spray, whatever that is. Cool stuff. These are the kinds of sounds that can inspire ideas and lead to song ideas, for me anyway. You know, it's kind of almost keyboard on guitar type of thing. Take something else. Maybe this is kind of an extreme one. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. You know, the ability to hook things up to moving filters, LFO filters, that kind of thing, so that you can have timed arpeggiated responses is really cool, and this software does it well. And its basic delays, flangers, phasers, those kinds of things are great. And as a matter of fact, I use it as a plugin here, if you could see, just with this basic delay. I'm just using it as a stomp box, as a plugin in my studio, because I love the sound of this one delay even more than just dedicated delay plugins I have. I use that in some of my lead tones where I've got other tones going into it, and it's just a delay pedal. Now, where I think where Guitar Rig it doesn't sound great, it doesn't shine here, is with your metal sounds, with amp sim, amp cab plugins. I'll switch to a metal thing here. I'll grab Ultra Heavy and just play something here. It's not awful, but it's a little bit lacking, and it's like an intangible quality. At the moment when the pick strikes the string, there's a certain thing that happens when you're plugged into an amp or a very good amp sim, like you get from a Kemper or an Axe FX, that has kind of a life to it that's a little bit lacking in software plugins. Now, there are some other ones that are also inexpensive, like STL and Neural, which I feel like they get closer to it than Guitar Rig does. But there are certainly a lot of options here. And put into a mix, this can be very useful. And in fact, let me switch back over and show you something in a mix. So there's an example of a couple of the quick presets for you. And let me roll that piece of music where I put it into a mix so you can hear it in a meaningful context that you might actually use to show other people rather than just jamming around in your room. I think you can see there that in context, in a mix, you do the right things with it. And I didn't even use EQ and whatnot there. It was just channel strips and the sounds. It's usable. And for the wide array of choices of sounds you get, it's definitely usable in a home studio budget kind of environment. Again, where it shines is with the effects, the phasers, flangers, all the stomp boxes that you would be using. And as I said at the beginning, for the cost of 35 to 40 packs of strings, you're getting thousands of dollars worth of stomp boxes that are well done in a piece of software. So if you were looking to buy this product, I hope this quick overview helps you make that decision and gives you an idea of what it's about. If you have any further questions or comments, things you want to see, please leave them below. I definitely get back to everybody as soon as I can. And as promised, I'm going to roll you a quick comparison where I did something with the Axe FX and something with Guitar Rig, and we'll switch like every measure so you can hear. And until next time, guys, keep making great music. Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.